they needed to, every dollar they spent needed to be a return on sales tax return on it. And I remember being one saying, no, that's being too narrow. We can spend on parks, we can spend on quality of life. Let's open it up. One of the bigger discussions we had was right in the bus about it, because some didn't like the idea that if we weren't bringing in shoppers to River Oaks to shop, then we weren't increasing sales tax, and therefore we shouldn't have the bus. And in my view, it was a broader reason to have the bus. It's quality of life, helping people, developing our city for the younger folks that all of them aren't driving, things like that. But we can always say those things, and then it stops. But even on Monday night, the mayor could have come and talked to the EDC on any of these situations where he feels like the EDC was asked for something, the EDC has said no. That wasn't done. It was Dan and I trying to give, if they weren't at the meeting, trying to give our 2 cents. I mean, we're, as council members, are always interested in the general fund and looking for ways to help the general fund. And in fact, on this particular decision, someone said, why should EDC do this? Because it had to do with extending the permits, and the city wasn't going to get any money. So the EDC wanted to cover their own costs. They've talked about the employees that have to do things. Well, let's pay their salaries for doing that. So that's why it's been misconstrued from people that weren't there or just don't know, that they want to do those things. They want to do those things. In that particular one, there was not any money, so they're like, well, why would we do that? And I said, well, it would help the general fund. That would be a reason to do it. But that, they chose not to do it on this time. So, in general, it has worked. They're good people. I don't like to hear them trashed. That would be one reason for me to decide to vote against this. Second reason would be
that was all one reason.
It was all one reason. Second reason is Friday night. This council has not met on a Friday night in the last 29 years. Okay. I've got 17 family members at my house where we're hosting a family gathering. Now, I'm not there because someone got mad Monday night that I didn't vote the way they
wanted. There were 2 elected officials who asked Marvin to address this.
You can do your rebuttal later, Joe.
No, this is my meeting to run. I don't need to be told when I can do anything.
You've given everyone else the chance to talk.
You are taking shots at me, and it needs to stop.
So I'm here doing that. So that's another reason that I potentially would want to vote against this. For my 4 fellow council members, we've never had anyone at the end making remarks, announcements, show up with 2 or 3 pages of paper reading a statement. I hope that doesn't continue in the future. That's not the purpose of it. It's not an agenda item. We're supposed to have agenda items.
Then we bail
where it's discussed, and we can all discuss. So I hope that's not something that is repeating. The third reason to not do it would be for what has already been said about spending the money. Will the money be there when we need it to do the deals we need to do? That's the concern. Is there a way to get around that? I think there probably is. But that's the worry. So just like the roundabout issue, from those of you who are here, I urged, let's not have grudge votes. Let's listen, let's make good decisions based on the data. Let's not get our personalities or whatever in the way of our decision making. And I have to say that to myself when I'm sitting here. I gave you 2 reasons why I would vote against this. So I'm trying to listen to myself on that. So then the other thing I would say is, what if the rules as they are today were in place back in 1995, before we created EDC, and they said the state had an option for it to go to the general fund and to create a board or whatever to, and handle it that way. What would you have done, Self? And again, for sitting up here for 29 years, pinching pennies, scraping by, I would say, why would I want to send my money away where I don't have control over it? Where there's another independent, third-party, separate legal body, the city can't go spend EDC's money. That was said, another thing that was said the other night that's not accurate. They can't do it. They have to approve the EDC budget. They have to approve the projects. But as far as taking their money, we wanted 18, you gave me 4, I'm going to take the rest of it, 14, that can't be done. So, I see the benefit of being able to have this general fund and the city council have access to more funds. It still worries me that we will spend it all, that it will not be there when we need it. But that, if I was back then, at that point, had that option, that would have been an option I would have been gravitating towards because of the additional flexibility, I think, that it would provide that. So, I do think, though, even if, regardless of what we do, or let's say we decide to have the election and elections set us to put it back to the general fund, I see the value in EDC I don't know, and I haven't spoken with any of them since any of this has come up, so I don't know how they're feeling. If they're willing to serve if this were to happen, I see value in doing that, having it just like all our other committees and boards that are targeted with something, a particular mandate that they're working on, and we've got businessmen and stuff, and they bring a different thing to the table. They bring a different level of experience and education on these things than we currently have. So, I know that we can disagree up here and not be disagreeable. And I hope that whenever this comes to an end that we do that. And because it seems like someone got mad Monday night and then all of this happened. When we talked about this before, it was brought up, it was Johnny's idea. We came up, we were uneducated about it, we knew a little bit about it. We directed staff to go do the research to find out about it. And they were doing that, I guess, and it hadn't been put back before us. And the reason it was done in a hurry, just in case y'all don't know, is because the election has to be called tonight, by midnight, to do it, or we miss this election. Of course, there's other times we could do elections, but it costs money to do that. Or you do it on November when there's tons of people voting and they don't really know what they're voting for, and sometimes you get weird results and stuff from that. It could be put off a year if we wanted to, but that's a lot of financial pain and agony for Marvin as we're trying to stretch our budgets and things like that. But it's not a one and done kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be now or never, but there's certainly, I see the reasoning in getting it done now, but a lot, I don't know why this went on the agenda for Tuesday night or whatever, except for the fact that someone got angry with the decision that was made Monday. So
inaccurate. So my statement to clear the air on that, in addition to John Claridge having a standing request that he would like to address this, is that both myself and Leanne Monday night asked Marvin to get this on an agenda as soon as possible, without knowing that this was the last day, and that thus calling it Tuesday would be the last. I wasn't the one that left. We could do it in 72 hours. I was there. So all this stuff about somebody got mad needs to be directed at both of us if you're going to take that out on both of us, because ultimately I don't think either of us got mad. Both of us felt there was an issue and wanted Marvin to address it.
And Steve, I need to also address too that I wasn't there Monday because my father was in the hospital. That's the reason why I wasn't there. My family comes first. So that's why I wasn't there on Monday.
And if I went first, I guess I wouldn't be here. I'd be with them.
That's why I stand with that on Monday.
Yeah. No, and I wasn't implying that you should have been there. If you took it that way, I apologize. I didn't mean to.
Back to communication, okay? It doesn't matter why any of it. I had a required board meeting. I would have begged to be here over where I was, but no. Well, is this recorded? But